Facebook comments pop up again because it seems like there's an issue. I am not sure what I am doing wrong. It just tends to do this, and so I will need to restart the social stream engine, not the stream. So let's just set that up. There you go again. Yep, we have it up again. And let's test out a comment. Live comment test. There we go. And to test again on our YouTube live comment test. I have to fix this up. I don't know what's causing it. Sometimes it works, sometimes it really doesn't. But at least for now, let's just I should not have eaten that gravy. As I purchased some Jollibee from earlier today at around 5 in the morning. But I had a very long escapade with some friends and family yesterday, so I was up for quite a long time. I went about different places, saw a lot of friends, had a lot of conversations, and I fell asleep at around 5 a.m. and I left the food downstairs at the lobby for a full 12 plus hours, for I guess 14 hours. And so when I had my dinner / breakfast, well, I think the gravy was starting to spoil, and there's still some aftertaste in my mouth right at this very moment, and I'm glad that my stomach doesn't hurt. But yeah, I don't know why I'm telling you about this story. Really still taste the gravy in my mouth. It doesn't even taste like gravy anymore. It tastes salty and vinegary, which is not what gravy tastes like. right, and an announcement for those who will be watching. I am currently running a holiday sale. So here is the advertising. There's a 25% off for all of my commissions. Of course, this is for private use only. Commercial commissions are completely different. But for if you want a gift that you want to, well, have for your relatives, for your friends, for your family, and you want it to be handcrafted, you want it to mean something, you want it to be custom made and unique, well, feel free to reach out. So this is the work that I do. I specialize in stylized realism. I take words and turn it into reality. Let's say I am the original generative AI, or generative AI came to be. In fact, generative AI is merely a little boy that follows in real artists' footsteps. So yeah. 25% off if you have a superhero that you've always thought of bringing to life. Now might be a good chance to have an artist work on it. If you have a portrait you'd like to do, if you have a fan fiction you'd like to cobble up together, and then send a message. My socials are on Facebook, Instagram. I also have Reddit and Twitter. They're not too prominent these days, but I also have an email, which all of it is provided in the window in front of you. So yeah, that's the quick spiel for today before we get on with the main meat of today, which I was supposed to do yesterday. But again, I crashed and I almost, let's just say, died in my sleep. Facebook, YouTube, God. Do not censor that. Hello, baby. Alright. Yeah. So, enough with the... Oh, I see. Thank you. Oh, damn. So, all of that was a waste. So, yeah. Let's try again. 25% off on all commissions. If you have an idea, a gift that you are considering to give to your friends and family, if you have a superhero, a fantasy character, a sci-fi villain that you want to bring to life, that you've had for years, and you've always wondered what it's like to see that character in fruition, well, don't hesitate to reach out. We have a 25% discount right now. It's only running up until the end of the year. And if you're also interested in how the process goes, actually, I will be working on several commissions right now. And I will be doing one of the most important things that the commission process entails, which is pre-production. This is where I gather all of the details that you would like to have. And this is where I have an in-depth conversation with you. And this is where I take all of the words and all of the prompts. Prompt sounds like AI. But yes, all of those notions, and then I produce sketches. And so for majority of this stream, it will be about sketches. We will draw everything up, all of the potential variations that the client may like, and then we will do our best to funnel them into a specific direction, of course still with their lead. That is what will be the focus of the stream. So yeah, thank you Bubby, for letting me know about the music. And so we head back to our main course. Alright, so also don't hesitate to leave a comment if you want to join the discussion. I if there's nobody on the stream, or if there's not much going on in the comment section, I tend to mute myself because it also helps me focus, and it helps record the process, I would say. But if you guys have something in mind, please drop a comment so that we could have something going on. So yeah, right now I won't show it. I won't show who the client is. I tend to keep that quiet unless it is completely necessary. Excuse me. But right now I am gathering all of the references that I have been given. So I'm a little quiet right now because I'm gathering references. Hello. Okay. I think the audio is working. Alright, so forgive the quiet. So to explain the concept that my client has given me, it is to be of the Buddhist Thangka or Tanaka. I'm not sure which one I'm saying correctly. Thangka, yes. Buddhist Thangka. Thangka. So it will be of a Star Wars character, and since Star Wars wields a combination of Christian and Eastern spirituality, but you know their execution sometimes is more Eastern. That is why my client wants her character to be in this position with the two mudras, which are the hand positions. The first is the Karana mudra, and then the other is the Varada mudra, which is with the I can't show it right now because I'm seated in the position where only my portrait is visible, not my whole body. But the legs are crossed. The one hand is doing the non-Spider-Man logo, and then the other one is non-Spider-Man gesture, and then the other one is with the hand position in a, you know, whatever this is, then brought down to the ground, near the ground. So these would be the collection of references that my client has given me. These are not references that I myself have collected. So to pool together how I would usually work on this. So for any commission that I do, and this may be helpful to those who want to also be part of this kind of business. If you're an artist and you want to do commissions, I think it is extremely essential to give more attention to the pre-production process than the production process itself. I'm not saying that you should not give thought to how you draw something. No, that is not the case. But I think that is something that you must self-educate. What do I mean? When you're doing pre-production, it's only yourself. No, I'm sorry. Let me correct that. When you're doing production, it's only yourself, right? You are working on the lines, you're working on the shading, you're working on the shadows and the lighting and all of these things. And it's going to be difficult when somebody bothers you every single time you make these crucial decisions. Because the decisions have already been done. The major decisions have already been done. And now what you're doing is just pretty much building the Lego Death Star together by yourself. During pre-production, you're establishing the parts of the Lego Death Star. And it's so apt that I'm using a Star Wars reference for a Star Wars commission. But essentially, anything that, what do you call that? Anything that you would work on, you would want to peer into the mind of your client as close as you can. And we do this through words, we do this through pictures. And what is important is not just how your client gives you the information, but also how you pull the information from your client. So I would really recommend to ask as many questions as you can. And this is not even including the pricing of things. This is not even including the timeline of things and the amount of work to be done. This is merely the essence of getting as close to the client's vision as you can feasibly can. And so here, we have an idea of who the character is. We have an idea of what the character is wearing. We have an idea of the pose. We have an idea of his colors, right? What it is missing is, I'd like for, well, if this were an actual class, I would ask the class what this is missing. But since this is not really a class, and I'm just speaking to myself and whoever is watching, what's missing here is the anatomy, right? The closest thing that we have for anatomy is this specific image here of this real life individual. We can see how his back is very much straightened. We can see how his arm is pushing forward into the camera. What am I using for the seemingly endlessly zoomable mood board? Oh, that is PureF. It's a specifically designed app for artists and designers, and it's actually also very helpful for marketing and sales if you're in that kind of job. So it's let me look it up. PureF. Yes, I'll take a screenshot of the it's also free. I think that's a very good thing. Here you go. PureF. There you go. So you might think that it's not free because the moment you do get it, it's going to ask you to pay, right? And I'm sorry, PureF, but I will have to bypass that legally. So you go to their website and you click on custom amount here. After you click on custom amount, you simply type 0. Like so. There you go. 0. Then press enter, and now you get something that should look like this. There you go. And then you hit the download button. So once you get that together, the only problem with PureF is it's not necessarily compatible with OBS, which is my streaming software. And so I can't demonstrate it right now. I've seen some YouTubers get to make it work, and okay, I can try right at this very moment. Let me try to capture it. Let's window capture. Okay, window capture PureF. Select a window to capture PureF, and there you go. Right? It just turns into full black. I do not know why. I do not know why it's doing that. See there? It's just black. So that's why I can't showcase it on OBS. That's why what I did is I just copied it. I'm gonna try again. This time I'm gonna go for browser capture. No. Let's try window capture again. This time I'm gonna do full monitor. Oh no, not that one. Let's remove that. Let's try again. Display capture. There you go. Display capture. Oh, there you go. All right. So I captured the full window, but I've also covered myself. I'm so sorry. There you go. That's the full capture. The problem with the full capture is since I'm using HDR, all of the colors has started to go bland. So I'm going to turn off display capture again. See the difference between the colors? But I'll use the non-HDR just to showcase the PureF. So this is PureF in full action right now. So if you click on Control R, you can unlock the mood board, right? And this is it currently locked, which means that if I click on it, I could just zoom out, and look at how far I could zoom out. And look at how close I could zoom in. I could zoom in indefinitely. Right? Oh, thank you. I'll take note of that. I'm using Miro right now for my mood board, but I haven't really explored it much yet. But I'll see if PureF works better for me too. Oh, I haven't tried Miro, so maybe it has functionalities that PureF doesn't have. I don't know also if Miro is subscription based or if it's free or if it's a one-time purchase. But again, I think the big advantage for PureF is that it has a free version. It has a free legal version. So here, I could also click on Control R again, or maybe Command R on Mac. And if I do that, it unlocks the canvas. So now doing left click can move the item anywhere I wish it to be. So for example, let's say we want to group the faces together. Just click and drag. We want to group the outfits together. We want to group the Buddhist template together, and we want to group the original, the previous pen art. What am I, Korean? Pen art, pen art. I hope that's not racist. Yes. So another good thing about PureF is that you could select them, and then you could right click, and then you could where is that? Window mode, images. There you go. You could go to images, normalize, and then you could normalize. And when we say normalize, like group them together according to size, in different ways, like height, width, size, or scale. And they also have keybinds. So instead of doing the right click thingy, I could just simply hold Control Alt Left, and the size changed. Let's zoom in a little closer. Control Alt Right. See? So now its width has matched. Control Alt Up. See? It normalizes in different ways. Right? And then now that it's organized that way, however I wish it to be, I could now click on Control Alt N. And now it organizes according to file name. Or Control Alt A. It organizes according to when it was put together. Right? You could also align it with Control Left. Or is it Alt Left? Where is it? My bad. Align. There you go. Control Left. Control Right. You could stack it. You could distribute it. And so on and so forth. Control Shift Up. See? Control Shift Down. See? And so there are so many ways to organize the files together. See? And now I have a pretty good section. Same thing here. Same thing here. We do that again. Let's organize by names. Let's normalize the overall size of it, and then we could now stack it together. See? And that's just with key bindings. And I think that's the beauty of PureF. And I could manually change the size by holding Control and Alt and left click and then dragging to make it larger or smaller. And then another thing is that I could click on Control N, which is to name, in case you need that. Because if you're working with a team, you need, labels. So for here, faces. There you go. Then you could just drag it there. And then here, you could Control N, outfit. And then here too, Control N, fan artwork. And then here you could go Buddhism. Right? And then you could also drag it indefinitely where you need it to be. There you go. I hope this was a pretty good demonstration of how PureF works and how important it is to the process. All right. Okay, so I will now disable the display capture and we go back to our Photoshop. Voila. In view, a humble vaudevillian veteran cast vicariously as both victim and villain by the vicissitudes of fate. This visage, no mere veneer of vanity, is a vestige of the vox populi, now vacant, vanished. And I forget what's the next part. All right, now that we are back, all right, so that is Puref, that is the Thanka, and what I can do right now is simply, what do you call that? I can actually, how do I explain this? I can start sketching right now, which I can do, but I don't want to. Why don't I not want to is because as I do have confidence in myself in being able to draw, but I always want my pieces to have a long-lasting nature. And to just simply sketch it out and doodle it, I feel reduces that. At least it's for me. I know that some doodles and sketches do last a long time. Rest in peace, Kim Jung-gi. And with how quick he does things. But I'm aware enough that I'm not at that level yet. And so I need AIDS. Not the sickness, not the HIV. What I need would be, where is it? AIDS. There you go. Right? So when I say AIDS, I mean visual AIDS. Okay? So here is, well, what's this called again? Magic Poser Web. So it's an online application. So you just go to the website and then you could activate it right away. And it is extremely helpful for the work that I do. Right? So it's not perfectly accurate. Right? You can't just take this model and then copy deliberately every single detail that it provides for you. Like, if you're gonna do an Arnold Schwarzenegger body, you can't just copy the way his deltoid matches onto his arm. In the same way as if you relax this, notice how there's still a flexing that happens in the deltoid here. Notice how the back fat or back muscle does not compress, right? So these are things that you have to be aware of when you're using a guide like this, an aid like this, a mannequin like this, okay? So why are we using this? Because if we go back to our Puref, our only references for the pose would be these three. This one here, and this one there. Only one of this is a real photo interpretation, which is this. This one is an artistic representation, and it's also orthodontic. Is that the right term? Orthographic. I'm sorry. Orthodontic is dentists. Orthographic. Right? It's not perspective. So notice how everything is flattened. You don't get proper circles except for these symbolic circles. You don't get proper focal length, such as is exhibited here. Notice how his other leg pushes forward more than his other leg. Notice that there's compression that happens. Notice that there are real folds of clothing. None of that is present here. Of course, it's an artistic interpretation. Oh, hello, Mikey. Oh, damn. Thank you. I have never received stars before. Thank you. That is truly appreciated. Oh, it's nice to see you here. So, okay, that I appreciate it. Thank you so much. So yeah, where was I? Yeah, welcome to the stream. I'm glad to have you here. Thanks for dropping by. So, if it's your first time dropping by here, I'm demonstrating what it's like to prepare work for a client, to go through what a stage that I call pre-production, where I try to inhabit the thoughts of the client, and these are the references that the client has provided me. And so you have the facial references, then you have the outfit references, and then you have these. And now what I'm explaining at this moment right now is the interpretation into my style, and filling in the gaps that the client did not provide. Okay, so what are those gaps? The realism, for one. So how do I take this outfit, these clothings, and then convert it and apply it to this body position? How do these fabrics curve? How do they relax? And so on and so forth. As well, this is the facial reference of the character, but so is this. So it is a male figure, but then the client only indicated that the character should have a much longer face, and that's why they provided this reference here. Similar to this, much longer faces. And so that means that I have to take a real life existing actor, actually several real life existing actors, preferably with long faces, and then see how to translate that into something more realistic, right? It's an honor seeing the master, and thank you so much. All right, so that is how this is going to be done. And so another thing, that's why I'm using this this application right here, which I will say again is webapp.magicposer.com. So if you're ever going to sculpt or illustrate or sketch out the human figure and you want a quick reference, you could use this. For me, I have now understood human anatomy, so the human anatomy part is not going to be a problem for me. What I need is a quick visual guide for man, thank you. Thank you so much. It's not much, but hopefully it comes some of your way as Noche Buena. Thank you. Dude, I appreciate it. Thank you so much. Oh, man. All right. So yeah, human anatomy is no longer much of an issue to me with the amount of human beings that I've drawn. And so, in fact, whenever I do use this, I'm quite aware of its limitations, right? So I don't really think about those parts here. So let's just toggle his underwear, because I don't want to see the underwear. The black can be a little bit distracting. So it is much better to see. It is much better to see the figure in the nude. Okay, so here, what is more important for me when using these is how the lens, the perspective shifts happen when you take a pose like this, and then when you zoom in the perspective. See, it's the same exact angle, right? But it carries a different weight when you zoom in the perspective, right? That means you're much closer. We're now using a wider lens here. When you wider lenses, if you've ever watched an Inarritu film, Birdman, The Revenant, even James Gunn's Superman, they use wide lenses. You determine a wide lens when it feels like everything is right in front of your face. For example, if I put my hand up here, right? This is like using a wide lens, even though this camera isn't really that wide. And so this is what a wide lens ends up doing. Now, I'm going to turn down the wideness of the lens and restrict it back here. And notice how it feels like we're putting distance to us again. Okay? And this is what I need for determining what lens I'm going to use for this specific illustration. Do I go for something that is far, that creates a kind of distance between the audience and the subject? So let's put him in a seating position right now before I continue with my explanation. Where is that? So the good thing about WebMagic Poser is also it has presets. So if you want your character seated down, it has these more automatic positions. It doesn't have a lot, but I think it's good enough to start with. So it doesn't have the one that I need right now, and so I'll go for the closest one, which I guess is already the one that I've chosen. So let's seat him down. There you go. Let's seat him down. Let's zoom it in to where it has to be. There you go. And then let's cross his legs. There you go. There you go. There you go. So let's center his framing. Let's rotate his hip bone. Let's center his torso. There are a lot of changes that we have to do. He is slouched right now. Let's straighten him up. Let's pull that hip down to the ground. Let's elevate his right knee. This doesn't have to be perfect, right? This does not have to be perfect. What we have to do is simply get the fundamentals down. So again, we go back to our reference. Our character, or the client's character, has to be in the specific position, and it's not fully represented in any one of these images because the third image is a Karana Mudra. It's for both hands. And then the middle one is something else entirely. And then this other one is the Varada Mudra, which is the whatever this is, and then it's just done that, right? So we have to copy that as best as we can. So let's put this down, and then let's. My God, that is such a twisted hand. That is such a broken, twisted hand. So let's bring it up. There you go. There you go. There you go. Now let's go back here. We want to tighten the back, which can't really do. It would be cool though if you can tighten the back. The closest is if we do this. There you go. So let's just bring this arm forward, because for your arm to be resting in front of your knee, you need to push your shoulder forward, right? If you try to do that while pulling, it's not going to work out. So you need to relax your arm, your shoulder, I mean. You need to relax your shoulder and push it forward so that it is able to land in front of your knee. Let's try to do that. There you go. And then we rest the hand here, and then let's go back here. So another good thing about WebMagic Poser is its ability to modify the hands. It has a lot of options here. We don't need to fully copy it. We just need one that is closest to it. So for example, maybe this, but it's this is the other one that shifted, so we need to select the right hand. There you go. Then let's go for this one. Left hand, let's go for that. And then it has to be this one. I think so. I'm forgetting. Yes, yes. So it's the false Spider-Man. Oh, it's the pre-Spider-Man. I think this will do. There you go. And his arm is still stupidly twisted. So let's bring that back up. There you go. There you go. And notice here that his head is not as it should be. It is not centered at all. So these are things that we have to be specific about. And then here, this is the tricky part. So this is what I meant when Magic Poser isn't perfect with what it's trying to do, right? So for example, here, this is a little too broken. Another good thing about applications such as this, and I think that you could even do this with applications like, for example, Blender, or 3ds Max, or ZBrush, any three-dimensional software. Some artists have the fantastic option of using real-life people. So good samples of this would be Alex Ross. So most of his illustrations, he actually hires models, real-life people, and then he has them take the pose that he wants them to do, and well, that's how he ends up with his killer illustrations, because he really has all of these. Man, that is terrifying, how the control of this is so limited. Damn, that is bad. Let's just stick with this. That is bad. I don't need a full interpretation. All right, let's go back to here again. So we should have this hand rotated. This one rotated. There you go. There we go. Oops, my bad. That's wrong. Here, I mean. There you go. Right? So we get a better understanding of the positioning of these body parts. This is something that we can do ourselves and take photos of. Something else that artists usually have are mirrors. So whenever they do these art thingies, whenever they draw, they put up mirrors, especially comic book artists. And so you do a lot of different expressions. For me, what I've done is selfies. So for years, ever since I started working, I have loads of ridiculous looking images of myself, just trying out different positions, different expressions, and it's quite funny. So this is still wrong. Why is it wrong? Because there's a tightness. Again, I refer back to that. There's a tightness in the arm here, and that's not, this arm isn't really doing that. So let's bring it back. Right? Let's bring it back. Let's pull the shoulder back. Let's tighten that baby in. There you go. And then let's bring it. So it's kind of like this. It should be like this, which is kind of difficult. So maybe we need to lift that up. There you go. There you go. Now that's a little too high up. See? That's my point about the limitations of this. So if you don't understand anatomy, and this is your only basis for how the poses work, I'm sorry, but you will be at a disadvantage. Because you are letting this run the calculation of your own illustration. And that's not good. Why am I still holding this pose? There you go. There you go. Right? So notice how there is an imbalance here. A little bit. So we could fix that. And then we could click on the lighting right here to focus on to remove the pointers of the body. There you go. And his head is still a little bit misaligned. There you go. So there comes a point when you keep drawing and when you keep studying that sometimes you walk around the streets, you watch movies, you play games, and for a few seconds your mind zones out. You're not even looking at the world anymore. You're not seeing people, you're not seeing the MRT, you're not seeing the grocery store. You're seeing colors. You're seeing lines. You're seeing positions. You're seeing the way an old person's spine starts to compress over the years. You're seeing the way a confident person extends their back versus a less physically present individual. And then you create patterns in your head, and you get to have a kind of second sense to all of these things, and which one looks more aesthetic, which one looks different, you know? And it's kind of hard to explain. And the only way for you to even fully express it is through illustrations, through drawings. And it's a tricky life. And that's just a quick tangent. I apologize for that quick tangent. All right. Oh, my bad. That is the first time that has ever happened. Varana Mudra. There you go. All right. So let's bring up. All right, where were we? Okay, there you go. So another thing that the images are missing is the lighting, right? So where are we? Where are we? Where is? Oops, my bad. There. Okay. Another thing that we're missing is the lighting. So right here, we have the light pointed in an angular form, and I think that this is holier. The feeling. That is such a weird thing to say, but I think that that is quite on point with what this image needs. So this is the beauty of these. And another thing that this image set misses is the angle. Do we shoot it from here? Do we shoot it from here? Right? Do you see the difference in the mood when you shoot it very close to the ground? And notice what happens when you also change the perspective. Do we shoot it in this manner? Right? From afar? Or do we shoot it like this? In a very compressed sense. So let's zoom in. Let's twist that. There you go. Let me just check my settings again, because maybe my desktop audio is all right. So again, to our viewers, we are both live on Facebook and on YouTube. So if you guys are starting up out artists, or if you're interested in how the process goes, today's stream is about how we turn the ideas of a client into a full-blown illustration. And this is what we call the pre-production process. That's why you haven't seen me draw a single thing. because that's the part which I will repeat is sometimes the most important, if not sometimes all the time. Okay? All right, so we go back to it again. So here, we're setting up the pose, and I think this is what works best. There you go. But another thing about, excuse me. Another thing essential for pre-production is that we should prepare, for a lack of a better term, we should prepare different angles for the client. Because as much as this looks good to me, right? I do not know if it looks good for the client. And I cannot stress that enough. If you've ever done commissions and you notice that your client constantly asks for revisions and just berates you about, hey, this is wrong. This is not what I had in mind. This is, and I hope this never happened to you, but they say things like, this is stupid. Why did you do this? Why did you do that? I would say that it's because of bad pre-production. At least that is in my experience. And I do not know what it's like for other people. Sorry, where was I? So yeah. So pre-production helps reduce those complications. So for example, here I do like this specific position. So let's set him in the middle so that we have a good guide of the lines. There you go. Let's make him as center as we can. There you go. This is still bothering me, so let's do that. Let's rotate this again. There you go. Right? And then let's turn this a little bit. So as good as this looks to me, right? It may not look good for the client. So we prepare different iterations. So I would say that this is my first iteration. So let's copy this and let's transpose it to our board. So that's our first shot. Our second shot will be like this. And then we put a little distance. Right? Let's copy that and let's put it there again. It's extremely minor, but if you're somebody who pays attention, you will get to see this difference right away. And another version is perhaps, let's try to increase the perspective. And then let's zoom out. There you go. And this will be our other version. There you go. They're so slightly different, right? There you go. And then we can change the lighting. Let's increase the global illumination so that we have a good understanding of it. Let's reduce the brightness strength. See? And for here, what we can do is we rotate this, have it up front, or have it far center, right? Let's look at this again. Where does the lighting seem to come from? If we're looking at both of these representations, it's coming from the front. There you go. There you go. Let's look at this again. There doesn't seem to be much shadows here, so let's reduce the amount of shadows too. There you go. For other clients, they don't have a pose in mind, right? So the process will be extremely different. We're not just setting up one pose and modifying it to the best of our ability. We're preparing various poses and various lighting schemes and so on and so forth. Okay? Right. So here we have our horizon line around his abs. We could do one where the horizon line is on his head. There you go. Okay? So notice just by the horizon line how it is shifting ever so slightly. So we have our lowest one here. We have our middle one here. See? We have our middle one here. See? You may think that they're the same images, but I assure you they are not at all the same images. And the moment you string them together and present them, they will have different effects. Yeah, there's nothing I can say at all. You can hold my hand. See, I've been waiting for your arms to fall. You can hold my heart. Excuse me. There's nothing I can say at all. You can hold my heart. And I'm waiting for your arms to fall. How's it gonna work when we can't admit it? Pretend that we don't know now. Trying to drag it out, but we bad at living. We can let it go now. And there's nothing I can say at all. You can't hold my heart no more. And I'm waiting for your arms to fall. You can't hold my heart no more. Ooh, ooh. All right, where were we? I am so sorry about that. I was just preparing some stuff up, checking at some potential messages. And yes. Okay. I'm going to turn off the display capture again. Why are we starting soon again? What was that? How long was I in starting soon? What has happened there? How long have I been in starting soon? What the hell? I'm so sorry about that. All right, so I think I've explained a lot of how the pre-production goes. I've already set up the body. There's so much that I still have to do, and a lot of other things that I have to gather. Right? How long have we been on stream? All right, so we have been on stream for a full hour now. I am thinking if I should end the stream. I'm not sure yet. Okay, where was I? Yes. Am I still live? Yes, I am still live. Okay, another thing that is missing is the facial reference, which may be important, may not be too important, because right now we are still in pre-production. I don't need that right now per se. What I need is to be able to flesh out the illustration, to combine them together, and so on and so forth. And I think we could start drawing right now. But before we start drawing, let me take a quick break, grab some snacks. My water is full, but I think I need some snacks. And then we're going to start drawing. So I'll see you guys in a bit. All right, I'll take a break. My focus isn't 100% right now. I'm pretty happy with how this is turning out. I still have, if we're gonna go back to the references that I've gathered, we still have 3 or 4 more sketches similar to this to create. And so for now, I will end the stream. Thank you for everyone who joined. Thank you for those who are still around. I might not stream anymore because I think that I'm gonna be working at this piecemeal. But let's see. Point is, I'll still be working over as the night is going on. Currently, it's 1:43 a.m. And yeah, the important thing for me is I get this done and everything else that I have to do within the day. But I think that closes it for today's stream. Again, thank you for everyone who joined. I greatly appreciate it. Thank you for sticking around. And I will see you all soon. All right. Have a wonderful day, a wonderful night, or whatever it is where you guys are. And it's the 24th now. Yeah, it's the 24th. So, Merry Christmas. See you guys soon.